All right, we're back. Now we're going racing. Yellow flag now up on the Sea Ray pace boat. You can see the Mod V's starting to make their way back onto the race course. Remember, we were 5 laps down out of 7 for Mod V, so this is going to be a sprint to the end. Yeah. They'll start in the order in which they started the race, not in the order of which when it stopped. It's the order of when they started the race. So as you can see, Sunprint on the pole. There is Boat Floater. There is LSB, Hurricane of Awesomeness, Revex Oil, Speed Marine, Fast Boys. There, I believe that's Latacrete just to the other side of them. So they will run back up towards the Monster Mile, which is just inside the south turn. Should see that buoy come into play. Still under yellow flag situation. They probably got to wait for some of the other boats. There's the green flag, so we're going racing again in Mod V. The Cigarette Pace boat turns to the inside of the course. And let's see who can pick up where they left off. Sunprint in the inside, Boat Floater in the middle, LSB, Hurricane of Awesomeness, Revex Oil right there on the outside. Of course, Kevin Smith and Kyle Miller filling in for Britt Lilly this weekend on the wheel. And Kevin Smith back in the boat after Jay Muller raced with Britt in Marathon.
And that is Kyle Miller of the Whoa Mama team, yeah?
Yep, Whoa Mama Speed Marine. Yep, they have their brand new boat that Britt Lilly actually built for them. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it done in time. Too much other stuff going on. Sunprint in the lead, LSB in second, Boat Floater in third. I believe that's Fast Boys there in fourth. So let's see now. There's Sheriff Lobo as they cross that finish line. So halfway through the Monster Mile, there's North Myrtle Beach RV and Resort. Sunprint's going to be on the inside. Boat Floater in the middle. LSB, Hurricane of Awesomeness, and Fast Boys. Of course, LSB, Revex Oil, and Fast Boys, the 2 newest boats on the course. Correct. It's good to see all 3 extremes right here because you actually see all 3 generations of the extreme. We'll say that Boat Floater's a Gen 1, Sunprint was a Gen 2, and then the LSB boat is a Gen 3 built by Britt Lilly himself in Annapolis, Maryland. There goes the X Insurance helicopter in tow. Aerial footage provided by X Insurance. And now look at this battle up behind these guys as they head into this turn. There is Sunprint. And that should be LSB right to the outside of them in their rooster tail. There's Fast Boys now dicing it up with, whoa, big hop there by Sunprint. So there is a hole about halfway through that corner.
That's right.
LSB, Revex Oil about a rooster tail length behind Sunprint. Of course, these are all spec boats, have to weigh the exact amount. When they come out, have to meet their minimum weight requirement. They have engine specs, drive height, gear ratios, all kinds of different things, but they can go as fast as they want. These boats run anywhere between 93 and 97 to 98 miles per hour as they're set up. Sunprint and LSB, Revex Oil, Hurricane of Awesomeness, exit turn buoy number 4. Now they head back towards the dogleg. LSB is going to be on the inside, the outside of the dogleg. Sunprint rather is going to be on the inside. As the bracket classes get underway from our view here from the broadcast booth, you can hear the Predator boat go by. This is a battle for third. However, it looks like that is Fast Boys. I believe that's Latacrete on the outside of them. And that might be Precious Vodka there on the inside. So a good run for Corey Chantry inside of Precious Vodka, new team this year. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's Boat Floater. I apologize. That is Boat Floater. So this is the battle for third in Mod V. Fast Boys, Boat Floater, and Latacrete back to the lead for Mod V. Sunprint in the lead. LSB, Hurricane of Awesomeness, Revex Oil in second. Matt, it looks like LSB might be catching Sunprint just a little bit, maybe pulling them on the straightaway, maybe a little bit longer of a setup, maybe a little bit more top speed.
Let's see how they come out of the turn.
Well, Sunprint's going to have, so that's the dogleg. There's your yellow buoy dogleg. That gives you a great idea of what these teams are going to do. Mm-hmm. Looks like LSB, Hurricane of Awesomeness, Revex Oil went back to the outside. Now look at Sunprint. I think there's actually a buoy just to the left of our screen. So Sunprint's going to run out there. Yeah, there's got to be because they're all following that same line out there. Although I'm not quite sure what Fast Boys is doing. Yeah. As it looks like they are running to the buoy. So you got to be careful. They might make a sudden course change. Yep, they did. You can see they just swept theirs. Oh, we have a lead change in Mod V, though.
There we go.
LSB, Hurricane of Awesomeness, Revex Oil able to make a move on the outside. The Gen 3 Extreme versus the Gen 2 Extreme. Steve Miklos, Steve Furman against Kyle Miller and Kevin Smith. Boat number 66 takes the lead. Sunprint's going to be back on the inside, about a rooster tail length behind. They hop back outside the wake, had nowhere to go. Kyle closed the door on him. Didn't give him any room to the inside. Now Sunprint will be on the outside. Let's see if Sunprint can carry more speed. That's what LSB did. They carried more speed around the outside of the corner. And it looked like they left the door open just a little bit. Now the battle for third. That's Fast Boys and Boat Floater. Phantom versus Extreme. Of course, that's the newest Phantom out there. Forrest Riddle and Ken Bollinger in Fast Boys against the father-son team of Steve and Steven Kildall in boatfloater.com.
For our viewers out there, it looks like they've gotten the tracker up and running on the screen.
And I apologize, it was Latacrete actually that was battling with Boat Floater, so that would be for fourth place. Fast Boys is in third. Boatfloater.com and Latacrete battling for fourth place in Mod V. LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness Revex Oil able to stretch it out quite a bit, maybe 2 or 3 rooster tail lengths now ahead of Sunprint. They're getting ready to enter the Monster Mile as they get ready to come across the finish line. They were going to do 3 laps. There's the Monster Mile buoy right there. So halfway between those 2 buoys will be the finish line. They were going to run 3 more laps, so they should have 2 more laps after this. As it looks like, Matt, it definitely looks like LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness Revex Oil has a longer setup. I think they have a lot more top speed than Sunprint does. Maybe Sunprint thought it was going to be just a little bit rougher, a little bit shorter on the wheel.
Yeah, they're really stretching it out. It also looks like LSB is staying a bit more connected.
Yeah, they're definitely staying a little
part.
bit flatter, not flying nearly as much. Boatfloater.com, this is the battle for fourth between Latacrete, Rob Hartman, and Travis Petco in Latacrete, Team Woody Relentless Offshore Racing. Rob Hartman and Travis Petco joining forces after the 2022 season. They are trying to catch Boatfloater.com in Mod V. We will try and get an update on the bracket classes out there running currently. Of course, only 1 boat now in Class 3. That's Team Woody. There were 2 boats in Class 2 between Predator and GNS. Predator was in the lead last time we checked. And Control Freak was leading in Class 4 over Simmons and Rollin' Dirty.
Speaking of the bracket classes, I heard from our friend Matt Soper of the Old School team. You can break out, according to Matt, you can break out to up to 3 seconds. No limit on how many times over the bracket speed. You just can't go over 3.0 seconds.
Well, thank you, Old School Matt Soper. We miss you.
Interesting.
Yeah, miss Matt Soper. Good guy. Of course,
Great
he
guy.
ran Class 4 and had some fierce battles with Predator as we go back to Mod V battle. Boatfloater.com. Latacrete on the outside. Latacrete, just about a half a boat length lead. A lot of passing on the outside in these corners. That's not something you typically see because you're running a little bit more distance, but a great race for this Latacrete team as they are able to take fourth place away from Boatfloater.com. So they will exit this turn. They will head back down to the dogleg. And you can see Relentless's Latacrete there is dumping off some ballast. That's the water coming out of the front. So they're picking up a significant amount of speed. You would have to think as they get that ballast out of the boat, we talk about ballast, they fill a tank up in the front of the boat with water that help keep the bow down. So they're dumping it, meaning they don't need it. They're going to get a little bit more speed.
A little less weight.
But this is an interesting position for Sunprint to be in. Sunprint is not that far behind them going into the dogleg. I do think that Travis and Rob will be able to pinch down on them and close the door as they make that one left-hand turn before going back to right. A little bit of a chine walk out there. I think there's a bigger ground swell than we can see. These boats are rolling side to side pretty good. All 30 to 32 foot single engine V-bottom hulls. They have 1-step, 2-step, or 3-step bottoms, and that, as we explained a little bit earlier in the broadcast, can depend on their weight when they get weighed out at the end of the race.
You know, Scott Porte worked on the Miklos boat.
He did.
On
Yep,
the
he
Sunprint
did.
Boat.
Yeah,
he
he
modified the bottom and to improve handling.
Yep.
And I got that from Mr. Colby. Thank you for that, Eric.
And of course, Britt Lilly has worked on a lot of bottom of these boats
Yes,
as
he
well.
has.
So he's, you know, aside from his own boat. I was very surprised he has not sold his original LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness Revex Oil boat. So if you want to go Mod V racing, there's a perfectly good boat to do it. And that's a proven winner. Yeah, for sure. I had breakfast with him yesterday. He goes, I'm surprised that hadn't sold too. Boat number 66, LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness Revex Oil in the lead. Boat number 51, Sunprint in second. Fast Boys in third. Here is GNS. They were second place in Class 4. I'm sorry, Class 2, racing with Predator, moving awfully slow there down the course. Not sure if they're done or have some sort of mechanical issue. Of course, a 41-foot velocity. This team based out of Texas, our second Texas team here. boat number 267. They give a wave to the fans headed down the beach. Back to 1 and 2 for Mod V. Now, it looks like to me, I can't see the buoy map, but it looked like, Matt or Kyle and Kevin went out pretty wide in that turn. And you can see,
very wide.
Look how much further distance they ran, but it looks like Fast Boys is going to go out there with them. Laticrete now could maybe cut to the inside, maybe make up a little bit of ground, but they're going to scrub the speed. In fact, that's what they do. You can see the wake of Fast Boys just as Laticrete was turning. So they're going to try and make up a little bit of ground maybe on Fast Boys, but they scrub the speed. There's a lot more acceleration with these boats now with the carbureted motors, a couple mile-an-hour difference. So let's see how it works out for Travis and Rob as boat number 66, LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness, RevX Oil, continues to lead. There they enter the Monster Mile. This should be the final lap, or the start of the final lap coming by. Beautiful boat, built right in Annapolis, Maryland. Britt has finished boat number 2. Of course, that will be going to Kyle Miller, the driver in the number 66 boat, looking to get that boat done and come out here and race in Mod V. And, yep, last lap for Mod V. So LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness halfway through that Monster Mile takes the white flag. There goes Sunprint. And we should see Fast Boys come in just behind them somewhere. Yep, there's Forrest and Ken, boat number 97. Just want to make sure I thought it was 97. Want to make sure I said the right number. Coming across in third. Laticrete was in fourth. Boatfloater.com was in fifth. Your top 5 in Mod V. Well, Matt, if Steve and Steve had anything at this point left, they've got to hang it out there now and give it everything they've got. They've got to go after LSB.
It looks like they're pushing hard for it. It definitely looks like they're pushing. Boat's out of the water a lot, but I think it looks a little bit more connected now than it was before. A lot more, actually.
Well, and in spec class racing, as I've talked about before, you can come to your setup or you can fall away from your setup. Your boat could be really heavy at the beginning of the race, not have a whole lot of speed. As it burns off fuel, it's going to start to lighten up, start to handle a little bit better. But then if you miscalculated something and didn't put weight in the exact right place, then it can get too heavy towards the end of the race. It can start sticking to the water more and slow you down. And it's such an intricate thing. I had dinner with Britt and Kevin last night, and it's such an intricate thing. They actually have weight bags that they'll put over stringers, right in the middle of the boat to be able to balance it out and have weight in various places. So there's a lot of moving of weight. In every class we're going to watch race today, there's a lot of weight to be moved with the center of gravity and moving stuff around.
Right now, looks like
Sunprint is slowing.
Dead.
Sunprint was slowing through the turn. LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness, RevX Oil exits the turn. There is Sunprint down off of a plane. Let's see if we can see anything happen with them.
At that time,
so
LSB was leading by about 5 seconds.
Yep. So that should give now second place to Fast Boys up on the podium and put Laticrete up in third. There is the Phantom there, boat number 97. Forrest out of Virginia, Ken out of Pennsylvania. So I live in Maryland. I live about a mile from the water. Not even a mile from the water, maybe a half a mile from the water, and I can hear this boat test every time they go out.
I bet that's nice. What's it like that?
Yeah. I can hear them pull down the river, and I can hear them pull up the river. MDG Performance Marine in Maryland helps them tune the boat. Jason Gervadis, who's down there helping the team this weekend, helped tune it. And so they'll test in Maryland, and I can hear them running up and down the river out behind my house. So
what a shame for the Sunprint team. They were running so well.
Yeah, they were running good.
Hard.
But they did lose a lot. It's hard to believe that there was that much of a difference between LSB and Sunprint. Those boats are pretty equally matched, and LSB was kind of able to walk around the outside of Sunprint. So you'd have to wonder if there was some sort of mechanical issue. There is GNS continuing to move slowly around the course. I haven't seen Predator bat, but I can hear them, so I know they're still out there running. It's not a hard sound to miss.
My only hope for Sunprint is that they didn't run out of fuel.
Yep, and we talked about it during the red flag situation. That could be a very real issue.
It's a hard way to lose a race.
Yep. That's LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness, RevX Oil. This is the white flag lap for Mod V. So as they would finish, it'd be LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness, RevX Oil, Speed Marine in first, and Fast Boys in second. And I believe Laticrete should be up to third after battling with Boat Floater. And we know that LSB is in communication with the team. They probably are aware of what's happening with Sunprint, so maybe just slow up just a little bit. They had some mechanical issues back home after Marathon. Britt went up to Tyler Crockett's shop, spent some time up there. Actually had to build a new motor. After Marathon, they had some mechanical issues. So they've been thrashing on this boat quite a bit to get it done. So a win would be good to build the confidence of the team and get that boat back up towards the front.
I don't know if our viewers know who Tyler Crockett is. He is an engine builder out of Ruby, Michigan. He is a Lake of the Ozarks shootout specialist, and he is
insane.
Pretty much insane.
Insane.
He's crazy.
He wants to go 135 miles an hour, 130 miles an hour in a 26-foot Joker boat.
Single engine V-bottom.
Single engine V-bottom. And if you watch the Armwood footage, it's the whole motor lopes so bad at idle that the boat just sits there and rocks over. It's just and he's got zoomy pipes on it. It is super cool. Tyler is one of a very good engine builder, super, super nice guy. Spent some time in his house up there in Michigan. Just a lot of fun to hang out with. So he's going to be happy to see this new engine up front.
Every year, it's one of the most exciting parts of the shootout. Also, probably one of the most nerve-wracking from a spectator point of view. If you know the guy,
and he does it by himself.
Oh, he totally does it.
So he's driving it and he's throttling it at the shootout. All right, LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness Revex Oil enters the Monster Mile one more time. They won't have to do the full mile. We'll call it the Monster Half Mile as they get ready to cross the finish line and take the checkered flag in Mod V. First place. Second place should be Fast Boys as we wait to see the results come across the finish line. So, Matt, one boat we didn't have here, Marker 17 Marine.
Yeah.
If anybody that's listening to our broadcast recognizes Marker 17 Marine, that's the one that had the epic drive blowout there. But this is now, Matt, this looks like a battle for second. That's Latacrete on the inside, Fast Boys on the outside. They entered the Monster Mile. Wow, look at that speed by Latacrete. All of a sudden, they just came out of nowhere, a half a rooster tail length behind. Rob and Travis doing everything they can, trimming it up. Look at it, pulling just a little bit.
Oh, wow.
This is going to be a really close finish. Just not enough for Latacrete as they come across in third.
Less than a boat length.
Yep, less than a boat length. Fast Boys in second, LSB in first. BoatFloater.com should come across the line in fourth. You're watching the 2023 Thunder on Cocoa Beach presented by Keltec. This is the first race of 4 today. As we take a look at Sheriff Lobo. Of course, Sheriff Lobo based out of Trinidad. Pete Rivero driving this weekend with Shamil Mohammed. I hope my friends in Trinidad are always listening.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of history down there with boat racing, and actually in my regular career away from doing all this boat racing stuff, one of my building engineers is from Trinidad, and he tells me stories about how he's seen the race boats down there and stuff. There's a lot of race boat history in Trinidad, and I'd still love to get down there and be able to call one of their races. Of course, they do the Trinidad to Tobago, the great race from Trinidad to Tobago, so that's pretty cool. So Sheriff Lobo looks like they're going to come across the line in 5th place today. Another extreme hull. Mind you, this is a Gen 1 hull also. So Pete and Shamil Mohammed did a good job as they take the checkered flag. Here comes GNS. They're going to come in 2nd place in Class 2 behind Predator. And then we see North Myrtle Beach RV and Resort, so they should maybe come across the line in 6th. Of course, all of our results, we tell you, are unofficial until the boats are teched, until they're inspected, GPSs are read, all the proper requirements are met for P1 Offshore Racing. Go to P1Offshore.com. Keep up with your favorite race teams. Follow our schedule. Follow us on Facebook, P1Offshore.com, or P1 Offshore on Facebook and P1 Offshore on Instagram. And also, you can keep up with all the latest news. I started watching the Class 1 MCON video yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Very well put together. Didn't get to watch all of it, but did start watching. There's Predator.
Looking good. Yeah, we were thrilled to produce that video. At Speed on the Water and Scrapyard Media and Speed on the Water, because Brad DiMaggio, Katie DiMaggio, the rest of the crew there, they do most of the work. You know, we storyboard, we help. Yep. But really, the bulk of the work comes down to them shooting and editing, and it is literally hundreds of hours. Brad actually finished that video on Friday. It went live Saturday morning.
About the same time the boat was done.
Yeah, about the same time the boat arrived in Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Predator came across the line. They should come in 1st place in Class 2. Of course, these results are unofficial until you read that speed GPS. We saw Control Freak come across, one of the 2 34-foot Phantoms in Class 4. They should come across the line in 1st in Class 4. So if we hold 2 with our schedule, it's currently 11 o'clock. At 11:30, we're supposed to get Supercat to start.
If we can get you an update on that, we will.
Yeah, we're going to go talk to Race Control. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, hopefully we'll be going to some Supercat racing live from Cocoa Beach, Florida. This is the 2023 Thunder on Cocoa Beach. I am Mike Iwaski, Matt Trulio. We might kick you out for the next one, bring our good old buddy Mark Grandin. He's kind of pacing around. I think he wants to come back in and have some fun.
I think we should say Mark for Class 1.
Should we say him for Class 1? He is a Class 1 announcer.
He is kind of a Class 1 guy.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.